Welcome everyone to another edition of SmackDown Wrestling Podcast. As usual, leave us a like and a comment like the other guy did the other day. Literally took what I said and put it in. So, as usual, just leave a like and a comment. YouTube's fucked. Just, this is how we've got to do it just now. Also check us out on Facebook. Leave us a like. Check out some of the stuff me and Martin's put up there as well. As usual, you've got me, the man who sweet chin music, James Ellsworth, chin into oblivion. And the man who put the piercings on Alexa Bliss's back, Martin.
I don't. Telling you, if I had a long time with her, that is not what I'd be wasting.
Oh, they're still sexy as fuck, mate. They're still so sexy. Right.
Her overall is a tiny, sexy package. Who happens to be really good at her job, by the way. I'm not taking anything away from her, but god damn, I like what I see.
When we get to SmackDown, I loved her segment. I thought she was brilliant.
Aye, but that's ages away yet.
Let's just say, she knows how to be a fucking heel compared to the end of Raw. Anyhow, right. So, as you can probably guess, we're putting this into a big podcast because we've got a few things.
Let's just cut to chase here. Right, I've been too busy. Will's been too busy. I've been through the highlights today because, quite simply, didn't have the time to sit and watch.
Should we tell people why? Martin, I'll tell.
Your stuff.
Martin has been rubbing it in about Final Fantasy 15.
Well, that's not why I've been too busy for the actual podcast, to be fair. It's why I want to get through the podcast, yes. But, Christmas shopping, haircut, getting organised for hospital visit.
Just do what I do, just shave it all off. Just save yourself money.
I have luscious, glorious locks that the ladies like. I'm not going to end up like you. I take care of my head. I'm not going to be a bald bastard.
I tried to take care of my hair. It's just hereditary.
You did a bad job full of gel and bleach. That's why I'm bald. Bloody frosted tips.
I think you're right.
Well, I know, right? Didn't he abuse my hair?
No, you didn't. You didn't. That's the thing.
Quite glorious.
It's very
glorious. Now, at the age of 31, it is glorious. And now it looks even more glorious because it's been tidied up by a master.
So it's just
nice. Basically, I look good.
It's going to be mate, you always look handsome.
I know.
It's going to be just a big cluster fuck for a podcast this week. Next week.
Through both of them. I've personally used the highlights because I quite simply didn't have time to give to this.
No.
What's he saying? Because I actually got a nice sleep for a change, and today Christmas shopping and stuff was getting done, and now waiting on me is Final Fantasy 15. I know.
So, and I've got to wait to Christmas. But the thing, like we said off air, the reason this has got to be quick is because there was hardly any storytelling in Raw, considering they've got a pay-per-view in a week, basically. Now a week.
Mm-hmm. So, and for given that's the case, I honestly couldn't tell you what half the card's going to be.
No, neither can I. Which
is ridiculous.
3 matches. That is awful. Well,
you need to remember, Ross already had time from Survivor Series till now. It's like a 4-week run. It's going to be 4 or 5 weeks. Anyway, basically they had time to get their arse in gear and get a good card set up, and they've just phoned it in.
Yeah.
So you're getting the usual WWE thing of the roster being so phenomenally talented that the matches are still pretty damn good.
Yeah.
But there's nothing fucking to it.
There was nothing to it. I mean, like, Rollins comes out.
There is one thing when we get to Roman's match that I would like to talk about because I've fucking had it. But we'll get there shortly.
We'll get there really quick, mate. Don't you worry. Because Rollins comes out, wants Triple H. He makes finally a fucking acknowledgement to Triple H, which we all know is going to be a WrestleMania match.
Oh, aye. But I mean, I think Triple H's absence was timed because Raw was up against some other sports, possibly football. I don't know what's on in America at this time of year. But Triple H uses the old Hulk Hogan thing where he'll make it look like he pops a rating by coming back when Raw's running unopposed and stuff like that.
Yeah, that's he'll time his appearances, which is fair enough. I like to see when he comes out. I don't want to see him every week with Done with Authority. I like it when it's like you're built there. He's there. You get the payoff. I enjoy that. Kevin Owens comes out. The two of them have a slagging match as usual because they're best friend. And then finally we see the Big Show for the first time.
Just we were all gone for that.
Well, it's the first time in a long time. It looks...
He's been off playing Destiny and losing weight and vaping.
See, the thing is with him losing weight, I don't know if he looks healthy, but I don't know, it was just something about his
slightly
face.
Narrower.
His face didn't look healthy.
No, it's not his face, but his actual body has looked slightly narrower. And
like they set up a match between him and Big Show. Rollins makes Big Show look brilliant with like him being this 7-foot monster. He done a great
and
show.
Actually wrestling like a monster for a change.
He
taking his time, picking his spots, moving better.
He moved a lot better. And Kevin Owens got involved, shouting at him to like finish the match till Big Show just fuck you, tossed him in the ring. He gave Seth Rollins the count out victory, and Kevin Owens got a pedigree for his trouble.
Of course.
So
at first I really didn't like that pedigree that he did, but the more I watch it, the more I hope he does it like that more often.
I'm still not sold.
He puts his own spin on it.
As long as he does something like that, mate.
It's just when he picks him up, obviously you get the double underhook, right? And he jumps in the air, but when he reaches the top of the jump, he lets go, and then makes it look like he comes down on their head with his knees, even though like their head's between his knees, obviously. Yeah. And he holds his hands away from him. It makes it look a little bit different.
That'll be cool.
Which I thought was a nice touch.
As long as he sticks to that, like you said, if you're copying somebody's move, it's used that for fucking knows how long.
Exactly, 20 odd year.
You've got to put your own spin on it. I thought it was alright. There's nothing much you can say about this match. It's the Big Show.
Aye.
He's limited to what he can do. But this is where Raw did take the downward spiral, as in you didn't know what the fuck was happening. It was just right, yeah. Okay, you know Rollins is fighting Chris Jericho at the pay-per-view. We understand that. Jericho's not in the building yet, so they're building that up, and he's got a US title match at the end. I assumed the end of the night, like many other people assumed.
Yeah.
So next with Jack Gallagher versus a.
Oh, you have to pronounce it Gallagher.
Gallagher. I'll twist my tash and all.
It's not like everybody's been pronouncing it the other way forever, but the wee ginger man says you have to say it a different way. Better listen to the wee ginger man with the moustache.
Darvari, is that the guy face?
Wee Barry. Barry Jr.
Wee Davari Jr. Mate, he's fucking awesome, man. The Jack, he was brilliant.
Aye.
And the crowd didn't eat any of it, and this is what I hate. It's
their own fault. They ruined the cruiserweights with how they presented them and booked them. So you're getting these guys who are finally pulling their weight with the matches they're doing, and it's too late because they fucked it in the first 2 months because it was half-assed by both the people who were in the ring doing the matches and the people booking it. Mate, it's too little too late at this point.
See some of the stuff I've never seen before.
I know. But the only reason I put on the suit is because of 205 Live. That's it. They've been told, alright, we need to actually put effort in. It's not going to work. I guarantee 205 Live pulled shite numbers even for the network. And this is them going panicking now because they realised that they made a balls of it.
No, they haven't made a balls of it.
It's too late.
I mean, I've not even watched 205 Live. I do think I'm going to watch it, mate. I'm after last week.
Why would you want to after what they've presented to you for the past 2.5 months?
I know.
There is nothing about what they've done with that division that would make you think, I really want to watch an hour of that with these guys.
No, I know.
Fuck no, I don't want to watch 10 minutes with them.
People, see, if you just get to watch this match, please watch it. The guy's brilliant, and it was a shame because the crowd didn't even buy into the two guys.
Again.
Do you know what I mean? It's because of how it's been done. It's because of how it's been done. But Jack got the victory.
They're rightfully making a big deal out of Jack. But it's not. And like I was saying last week, after I watched a bit of 205 Live, he's absolutely phenomenal in the ring. But it's not going to catch your average punter. They don't give a shit.
No. different to like say us. See, like you're
Different in the UK as a whole.
Yeah, but there, no, it's not the type they like.
No chance.
They
Be alright, maybe Ring of Honor or something, but in WWE, that shit's going over like a really bad eggy fart in church.
Oh no, they were more interested in the fucking Mark Henry Titus and no squash match, but we'll get to that.
And the fart noises themselves, which probably came out of Titus when he got crushed.
So Jack picks up the victory and gets attacked after it. That was it, but the crowd is on
They
its
make
arse.
you tune into 205 Live.
I find out what happens.
The wee ginger man with the moustache got the shite kicked open by the wee brown man. Better watch it on the network, said nobody.
So we had our only segment with Mick Foley with Kevin Owens. So that was it. This was all the time we had Mick Foley on the show. And basically, they've made a match with him and Sami Zayn. I'm cool.
Yes.
Cool with that. So it's good wrestling again. And then we get to a pointless fucking... I know it's a story, but fuck me, I don't like it. Where you have Lana and Rusev arguing, she throws the ring, and Enzo goes there and does his moves on her. Exactly.
Why did they bother?
Exactly. And this carried...
I mean, Enzo and Rusev as well, they're making the best of what they've been given because those two are professionals.
Yeah.
And they can't help but be good and entertaining in what they do. But it's just not working for me.
No.
I mean, as I say, they've been handed shite on a plate and they've tried to make it into something presentable.
Yeah.
Because they're that good.
The two... They're
no miracle workers.
That's it, mate. Rusev is an amazing heel in Raw. Enzo, yep, he can... talk the talk.
He could read a phone book out and he'd have half the crowd like sitting there amazed and the other half going, why is this cunt reading the phone book? Why am I not leaving?
Yeah,
kind of like to see what happens.
It is terrible, terrible fucking writing. Terrible. And this was a main story throughout the night. So obviously we come back to it because that's all you've seen. So, but we had Kevin Owens versus Sami Zayn, which was a great other wrestling match. Great again.
Those two have never had a bad match.
No.
I've watched them wrestle each other on and off for the past decade and a half. And they're the best. And I cannot wait because surely to Christ, the people in charge must look at they two together, know that they've been wrestling together for so long, know that they know each other inside out, and think that's going to be one of the greatest WrestleMania main events to ever happen.
Aye.
Give them 40 odd minutes and a giant crowd and just let them tell their story.
Yeah,
just
I totally agree with you.
Please, main event, give Sammy the win. Think of the pop. I need to see this happen at some point.
It was a brilliant match again, mate. There's always something different in their matches.
Aye.
Kevin Owens picks up the win. It was a clean win.
It was a clean win, but they really went at it. Like, he's really selling that it took him everything he had to put Sammy down.
Yeah, it wasn't. It was...
Like, at one point, Sammy gave him a tilt-a-whirl DDT from the top fucking rope, round his neck onto the ring apron.
Yep.
Fuck. Never seen that before.
And this is, again, another thing that pissed me off, because you had this quality of match. Why was this not closing the show?
Because it's booked by a fucking reprobate.
So...
But also, I think that your champ, if he's wrestling, should be the main event automatically.
Should be closing the show. That's who you've paid to see. And when we get to the segment, it's no 2 weeks in a row, but in a different style, because it's fucked beyond belief, mate.
If it had been a match, I wouldn't have complained. If it wasn't a match.
No. So, but when we get to it, we'll bitch and moan about it. But they had a segment with Y2J and Roman Reigns. Meh. It was meh. I like Chris Jericho when he's funny and sarcastic.
I know, but there's like, here comes Reigns to commit career suicide by further sowing dissent between the best friends.
Yeah.
And then buggering off. No, again, Reigns never does anything wrong here. His acting's came on a lot. He sounds very convincing. He's got a presence about him at last.
Comfortable.
That's what I mean. Yeah. He sounds convincing. He sounds comfortable. He's settled. He's holding up his end fine. But see the booking and the writing, not just for him obviously, but but because of the push that he's constantly given, right, he's holding up his end, but again, he's working with dog shit.
Yeah.
Absolute dog.
They'll try and make it too much like real television, which wrestling isn't.
Yeah.
It's a show.
Yeah.
I mean, it's always been a
That's
show.
been a problem with WWE for a while, until, like SmackDown at TLC there, we were saying how Ellsworth went out of his way because the title means everything. WWE forgot that for a while.
Yeah.
Like, titles are, well, for years now, have been put to one side, and it's all been about these shitey, fake reality TV storylines.
Yeah.
Which is just awful. Awful.
I mean, after that, and mate, again, another good fucking match was Rich Swann versus TJ Perkins.
Aye.
It was a great fucking match.
I didn't think TJ had it in him.
No, neither did I.
I mean, he's always been competent, but he's never been spectacular. I don't know if that was him being lazy or if it was the booking or what, but... And I mean, obviously, they've been told you need to kick it up a notch because of 205 Live, but the fact that this is what it's taken for them to try...
Yeah.
Because, honestly, with the exception of Kendrick up to this point, and then Noam when he debuted, everybody in that division has phoned it in. Whether the storylines were shite or not, that's not the point here. The point is, not one of them went out their way to impress.
No, because
with the exception of Kendrick.
They got signed, the CWC was phenomenal, so you're expecting these matches to be great. And it's
I'm not wanting a 5-star match every time they go at it or they risk their lives. I'm just expecting a basic level of competency, and for the people involved to go, right, these bigger guys are doing these moves, what do we need to do to set ourselves apart? And they didn't, they just coasted along going, that's us on Raw, we can do that now. And they've been like, this isn't just the booking that's done this.
Oh no, it's
you can have
parties.
garbage booking and still pull off good matches.
Yeah.
As we've seen, like, in the rest of the roster recently. But just, it's the actual cruiserweight guys themselves, with those rare exceptions, they just did not give a fuck. It was like, that's us, we've made it, we'll play it safe. And now they've been kicked up arse because of 205 Live, and now they're putting in an effort. But again, they fucked themselves. They didn't put the effort in when they debuted on Raw. Nobody's going to pay attention to them now.
No. Which is, it's why it hangs me, like you said, it works both ways. And
the thing that annoys me is that, like, for years I've heard people talk about the likes of Rich Swann and TJ and all that, saying how great they were. And like, I don't really follow American Indies that much, so I couldn't tell you a damn thing about them. But, you know, if you've got that many people buzzing about you, especially when you get signed by WWE, then you would expect some degree of talent. Instead, they've shown up and they've phoned it in. Mm-hmm. And now that Rich Swann has had the belt dumped on him, which he didn't justify in any way, shape or form, now he's putting in the effort. You shouldn't be putting in the effort once you've got your belt. You should be putting in the effort to get the attention of the people who can give you the belt, as well as the fans.
Yeah.
Instead, he's done it ass backwards. And he was great last night. I mean, I loved him taking the piss out of TJ's stupid wee taunts. TJ then, you know, actually had a bit of attitude about him. He had a wee chuckle about it and thought, right, I'm proving this bastard wrong. And they had a right good wee match. Where was that 2 months ago?
Yeah. It's like you say, mate, they've wrote themselves, and it works both ways with the booking and performances, and it has been a kick up the arse they've needed.
The thing is, see if they're going to get people interested, it's going to take like the kind of match quality that we've only seen for like Taker and HBK at Mania.
Mm-hmm.
It's going to take that spectacular, perfect performance from someone. Somebody needs to break out, basically, and capture the attention. And I don't know if any one of those people is capable of that. Noam's probably too young now. TJ, until last night, I've not seen an ounce of charisma out of him. Rich Swann just shucks and dances and didn't give a fuck till he got that belt. Daivari, young heel, all potential. Same with Jack.
I think where the problem
All
lies.
potential.
The problem lies, mate. Even if, like you said, they do that 5-star match, which spotlights it to like wrestling fans like me and you, I still believe
Aye.
the fans over there just will still not buy it. They still won't buy it,
Well,
which is a shame.
There is an audience for cruiserweights over there, though. Look at WCW. The massive bit of their success with Nitro was the cruiserweights. And I know it was a while ago.
What I mean is, sorry, cut you off. It's the how when they go to the actual tapings. I mean,
right.
The crowd's there. That's what I mean. And I know with house shows and that, I can imagine the house shows would be completely different. But like see, like your tapings, apart from the Scottish one, when the Good Rangers man came out, the rest are all fucking dead.
That's why they need this big performance. Like, cruiserweights can be successful in America. It's happened before. It was why Nitro started getting popularity and they capitalised on it with NWO stuff. It's why ECW got attention and then they raided everybody off them and they went to WCW. It's why WWE tried their damnedest with whatever WCW hadn't snapped up at the time with their light heavyweight division. There is a market for it there, but they've fucked their opportunity because they never actually tried. But if you have that spectacular match in front of an audience at the tapings, it's going to wake them up and people are going to see that on the telly, they're going to see the actions and then get interested, but it's going to take something fucking spectacular. And if they take 205 live, nobody's going to fucking see it.
I mean, because it's not even
and by the way, do you know what I read last week? 205 live, because everybody left and they had to turn the lights down to make it no look empty, despite the name of the show, they're going to pre-tape it.
I kind of guessed they would do something like that, mate.
I know, why draw attention? Why go, right, this show's going to be live, we'll put live in the name, like we've got for SmackDown Live. Right, so we'll emphasise that it's live. Okay, when we taping it.
I know. They fucked that up, mate. They've really buzzed it.
I don't see the cruiserweights being around past Mania.
No, I would.
It's a failed experiment.
I'd say a year at most. I'm
not happy about it at all.
No,
because when we first heard they were bringing it back, we were both pretty damn excited for it.
Yep.
Because finally, the weird guys are getting a showcase. There's some great talent. I mean, and then in 205 Live, is actually Austin Aries commentating. He meets the weight requirements that they've imposed on it, and even if he didn't, I think they'd just lie and say that he would. Like how the Undertaker's 6'11", but if you actually meet him in person, he's my height.
Aye.
Like Austin Aries would be perfect because he's charismatic.
Yeah.
He's excellent in the ring. He can hold a crowd's attention, but I think bringing him in once he's over this injury is going to be too little, too late.
Yeah.
If he'd been there for the start, then maybe they've been on to something. But then it's hard to say given again how they've treated the whole thing.
Yeah. They've treated it like a fucking pile of shit. We'll move on for this because that was a shame because it was such a good match as well.
I think that's going to be what we're going to see with the cruiserweights for the next few months. Great matches, nobody giving a shit. Yeah. And it's their own fault.
Yep, totally agree with you. Next we had Bayley versus Alicia Fox, and this
5 minutes of fuck all.
Yeah, and this all came about because Bayley Bears, the new thing you can get at the WWE shop.
You know what, I didn't see that, and now that you've told me, I still don't care.
That was it, Bayley won. That was it.
Well, we knew that.
Titus O'Neil versus Mark Henry. Mark Henry won, squash match. Honestly.
See if you're Titus O'Neil, right, you've tried to get a storyline going, he's handing out flyers like him versus Goldberg for some reason. I mean, he fucked himself, we know that.
Yeah.
But see, if I was in Titus's position after, actually getting the company behind me and, the Father of the Year stuff and all that, and then fucking up like that, I wouldn't have the motivation to go, and they're not going to get behind him again.
Nah, mate.
Nor does he deserve it.
Nah. mean, after that, they cut to Ric Flair appearing at the arena in a limousine, and he gives it to Enzo.
Aye, because I'm sure if Flair had money, he'd spend on a limousine with his own fucking initials on it, and not booze or being racist.
I know.
Allegedly racist.
So that's
not Ric Flair.
I mean, that's Enzo's away to meet Lana. So then this is where it fucks up. Because now we have Roman Reigns' US title match against Y2J.
Right, this is what I wanted to talk about.
On you
now,
go, the floor's yours.
First half, 3/4 of the match, phenomenal. Roman held up his end. Jericho, being the veteran that he is, an absolute professional, made it look spectacular. Really great match between the two of them. I would actually like to see more of it. Those two going at it. I really enjoyed it. And then, you got your storyline bit. KO comes out to try and Jericho. Now, this is where my problem is, right? So, KO hits Roman. Roman, stunned, stumbles round, goes into a code breaker. The pin happens. Any other person in any other match with a scenario like that is beat.
Mm-hmm.
Not Roman.
No.
Roman fucking powers up and goes fucking Super Saiyan or some shit because he kicks out at 2. He misses a spear and you think, alright, Jericho's still got a chance here because he's over at the turnbuckle. Right? And you think, oh, he'll do a move. No Roman. No, because Roman's still going Super Saiyan. Roman then just turns around and does a spear again anyway with no momentum. And then gets the pin. Ruining a fucking good match with what I can only call a retarded ending. Now, any possibility of Roman actually winning over fans, because he is, as I say, holding up his end and showing, like, he's finally came on. You cannot dispute the guy does have talent and he's finally came out, right? He can hold up his end in the ring. The promos are getting better. But see, if you're going to book him like that, no one's going to buy it. Not one person will put up with that.
I totally agree, mate. The match until the ending was brilliant.
You can't book something like that. Nobody's going to buy it. Oh, it's really competitive. Until what Roman says, right, that's it, we're done now. And then decide, like, is that him just toying with the guy? No, because that's not the story they've told. The story they've told is 2 guys being competitive, and then what? We'll just have them squash them at the end.
The only time I've seen something like this, right, was if you take Austin. Let's take Austin, right? If it happened on Raw, Austin would have lost. If it was
a screw job.
It's a screw job. If it was a meaningless pay-per-view, no the ones building into the Mania, because the Rumble was different, so we'll take away Rumble. Aye. If it was, there you go, like say the Survivor Series Deadly Games, right, where he did get screwed. It's something that if a scenario happened like that, he would take a pin because it makes perfect booking sense.
Exactly.
He would not push out of that pin. I have never seen Austin do that.
You wouldn't see Stone Cold miss a stunner.
No.
Then just against all momentum and physics, just hit the stunner anyway. No, because when he missed the stunner, the other guy would get some stuff in, Austin would recover and maybe hit it out of nowhere. That was part of the pop of the stunner. You wouldn't.
WrestleMania 19 is the prime example of that.
Aye. But you wouldn't, like, it's the fact that Roman built this spear, he runs across the ring, gets momentum, bang, misses. And then instead of recovering, instead of maybe Jericho trying to catch him out, no, he just turns around, bang, no momentum, nothing, just takes him down. And as I told you the other day, why is Roman Reigns' finisher a spear?
No, I mean, it's a...
No.
Why is it a spear?
This is the joke. Come on.
Why is it a spear?
Because it's a forced push.
Oh! I mean, if it was like Austin and Mania, like we just said there, 19 was a prime example. I think they'd done it a bit in 15. I can't remember 17. I know everybody says that was the best one. I can hardly remember that match, which is shocking for me.
Amazing match.
But there is where I would say Austin would do it. Mania matches are kind of that one you kind of let go because they're the biggies. But knowing Raw.
The thing is, if he missed the stunner, it was always to build up to another. There was build up.
Yeah.
There was a bit that happened in between. It wasn't just, well, that guy got to the stunner, so I'll just stun him.
It was a fuck up, and I've got a bad feeling, mate, going into this scenario. Like we called it 2 weeks ago. If they don't drop that belt, and if he picks up that other belt, it's going to be shite. No, personally to Roman Reigns, but again, it's...
No, again, this isn't his fault.
This
It's
is
for
booking.
But him with 2 belts,
No.
that's just going to make people switch off Raw. And then when they do switch off Raw, they'll blame something else.
Yeah, it won't
Again.
be. It won't be the booking fault at all, or Kevin Dunn's fault. It will not be them at all.
No, it has to be everyone else that's wrong. Has to be.
So let's finish off the Enzo storyline. Basically, he goes to meet
Basically,
Lana.
Enzo got murdered in a hotel room and it was broadcast live to the nation.
So Rusev wants a match with Big Cass. Big Cass goes to the ring, and it's like, oh no, where's Rusev? And then he clicks on, it's a setup. There you go. Fucking brilliant.
It was a nice wee idea.
It was a great idea.
Just,
it's just
Enzo did get murdered. It was entertaining.
Then we have the tag #1 contender, Bullet Club versus Enzo and Sheamus. Good match. And then it just brawls outside the ring. New Day heelish again.
Well, they started the attack, but then Sheamus Arrow booted fuck out them.
Yep, I'm happy with that. So basically, next week in Raw, we've got a triple threat for the title.
Aye.
So let's talk about the awful fucking ending quickly.
Right, so here is your main women's storyline in WWE as it stands right now. Charlotte has daddy issues.
Mm-hmm.
That's not an exaggeration. That's no me trying to be glib or funny. She stood in the middle of the ring greeting that her dad doesn't love her.
That's everybody. That's how you end Raw. No Sasha Banks with the championship. Nothing. No Braun Strowman.
No,
nothing.
Ric Flair out to get slapped in the face while Charlotte calls him a bastard. And then, of course, because he's Ric Flair, there's only 2 things that Ric Flair can respond to a promo with, and they're both bodily fluids, blood or tears.
Awful.
And this time he chose tears. One of those rare occasions when he didn't bleed. I mean, it's like, honestly, fully expected. My daughter's got problems with how I interact with her in my life. Blade, you know?
It's...
I bet he does that family dinner. Yes, I think he's in a Christmas present he doesn't really like. She's got a fake smile on, so he just leans over and just cuts his fucking throat.
I'm just thinking Thanksgiving when he's cutting the turkey, he just looks at everybody, he just blades himself quickly.
Aye, wee electric knives.
Then he starts doing elbow drops in his shirt suit.
Oh, he elbow drops the turkey, dumps it in the flare and starts elbow dropping over and over again, and then stripping to his pants and stealing profiling.
Awful. You do not finish Raw like that. You need... Oh, mate, I was angry.
Because there's no way in that storyline that Ric Flair's going to go to the pay-per-view and then once Sasha's about to win, help her.
Oh,
he definitely won't stab her in the back.
Definitely won't happen at all. Definitely will not happen. It's fucking bullshit, man. And that's how Raw finished. SmackDown was more of a wrestling show. Very little storytelling, but they done it right.
The difference is SmackDown doesn't have a pay-per-view next week. SmackDown is setting up the next 6-7 weeks of stories to whatever New Year pay-per-view. Some people are saying New Year's Revolution. I don't know if it'll be that on the nose.
I was really happy with SmackDown, mate. I thought the hints of stories they've done.
They're dealing with the recovery of TLC. They've set up some new things. They did exactly what they had to do, and then some good matches on as well.
AJ comes out. We all knew something. He put his body through a lot of shit last night. He couldn't wrestle. But
he actually legit hurt his ankle, I believe.
Yeah.
It's only a minor injury, so he's not like a title or anything, but he needs a wee break.
A week or two and he'll be fine.
Aye.
But I loved how he actually took the piss at himself with the whole... And it's like fair play. He actually acknowledged it.
No, you shouldn't really miss it. Although I will also say for this segment, Ellsworth came out because obviously it was meant to be AJ versus Ellsworth. And Ellsworth accuses AJ of ducking him because he's scared of him.
Yeah.
Which cracked me right up.
The bit I love, mate, and I just totally loved it. But it's because it's kind of like a heelish Ellsworth. He's a prick because he cost me my fucking prediction.
His promo was much better.
Yeah.
I think he's far more comfortable being a bad guy.
I think he is, mate. I think let's start all saying that if you're a heel, you can do anything because the heel's the easiest. Babyface is different.
It was the total opposite every promo he's cut.
I liked it.
Since he's been on the telly. And he's so much comfortable doing it.
I'm going to take any way to get there. I was happy with it. The bit I laughed more, mate, was just Dean casually walks out and just fucking
comes Dean, what's he got to say?
Double DDT and walks away. I loved it. That's how you start a show. That was it. None of this 20-minute talking.
You know what else? A wee props to AJ who had seen Dean come and got out the ring.
And laughed.
He just started howling at Ellsworth.
It was brilliant. Brilliant. And that just set up how fun SmackDown was going to be for the rest of the night. It was fun. You had the rematch between the Wyatts and Rhino and Heath Slater.
Very solid match.
Yeah. The Wyatts won. I did like though was the way they've done their entrance with Randy Orton.
Yes.
I like that. I really like that. The way it just cuts off, I hear voices in my head and it's boom, we're here. Absolutely loved it. With the Kalisto segment, and I sat really close, is he going to fuck this one up? And it's just to have like a final...
A good lucha thing?
It's just like a final match between him and Boden
Forsman.
Yep. So... Here's where we take a bit of a nosedive. Carmella comes out, cuts a segment about how Natalya is basically backstabbing Nikki Bella.
Blah, blah, blah. She battles you. Same shit as all night. Natty comes out for a match.
Match doesn't happen because they run backstage.
Because Carmella runs away.
And Nikki Bella's standing there, and it's like two school friends have fell out.
Instead of somebody doing something about it, they both put on resting bitch face, and then Nikki just fucks off.
That was it. I've
got a shite segment.
Mate, I've got to admit, that was the only thing at last night's SmackDown I didn't like. That was the one thing.
Kind of awful, that's what I
mean, you had your Baron segment, boring as fuck. But I nearly skipped the match. You had the Ascension versus the Hype Bros, which was quite obvious who was going to win.
I'm calling them the Illuma Jobbers now.
Illuma Jobbers.
They're the Illuminati, but they can't win. And can I just say, I also find it hilarious that Vince has made the Illuminati job to him.
It's
just brilliant.
Mate, he made God job to him until Shawn Michaels beat him up. So this is Vince McMahon. Hype Bros won. I couldn't give a fuck about this match. It's Mojo.
Exactly. Imagine what that match would be like. It was exactly that.
Aye. It was the exact same you've seen in the pre-show. It was the exact same you've seen on SmackDown last week. It was the exact same you've seen on the pre-show before that. It's the same shite. This is where you start to see the roster's quite thin. They need more up. Again, it wasn't a bad match. That's the thing. Let's remember that it wasn't a bad match. It's the same shite we always see.
Aye.
This is where it got really entertaining for me, mate, and it just blew Raw out the water with other storylines. Miz TV.
That was very good segment.
Very, very good. I was surprised he was going to wrestle. I genuinely thought he would have took that night off. We never seen Dolph either, so a lot of the wrestlers did get kind of a night off.
Yeah.
But he had a brilliant segment to which he was basically making fun of Dean Ambrose. Because of James Ellsworth. Mate, that was the funniest. See what I hope for, mate. They do that every week.
You might not have won, but at least you were there.
I hope they do that every week because that was the funniest thing I've seen. That was brilliant from The Miz. Loved it. Daniel Bryan comes out and calls an IC match for that night. Cool, right? At least they know how to close a fucking match.
Aye.
I mean, at least we're not getting daddy issues. We're getting a match to fucking close it. So, It was brilliant. It was so funny, and I hope to God they do that every week. Oh, if they do Miz TV, they do that segment at the end because that
a
was
certificate for
brilliant.
participation.
That was brilliant. He is the best heel in the company just now. There's no way around it. He is the best heel. So we had Kalisto versus your favourite wrestler. It was an alright match.
I didn't watch it because Kunto was in it. I've actually written it as Kalisto versus Kunto. Kunto wins the end.
Mate, it was alright. It was alright. I'm not. He's still got a lot to go. He's got a lot to do. He has.
Like pack his bags and fuck off.
The only thing is, where does he go now? Because you've got all the heels as champions.
Fucking unemployment line.
All heels are champions, so I don't know where the fuck he's gonna go.
Hell.
Then we got one of your favourite wrestlers, Gable versus fuck, who was he wrestling?
Hold on, I've got it written down. I just did stop looking at it and I don't know what it was doing there, to be honest with you. So it was Gable versus... Oh, fuck off, it didn't save.
Mate, I've wrote it down, I can't even read my writing.
And it didn't... Oh, sorry, it was Breeze. Tyler Breeze.
Tyler Breeze. That was it.
Fandango.
Again, solid match.
Solid match, great together, some good chemistry, fun to watch.
Yeah.
Yeah, but again, as I was saying before, with this roster, I think 95% of this roster,
they all learned.
It shouldn't be possible, and yet, you know, sorry, I've got myself mixed up. If you have a shit match, then you're an asshole, given the talent that's available to you.
Yes.
That's the point. 90% of this roster will never have a shit match with each other.
No. I mean, a lot of them all trained and wrestled each other in NXT. It is the smallest roster.
There's a nice wee sort of atmosphere about them. Everyone knows each other really well, which means a better product overall to watch. And, like, as I say, most of the matches and like Monday and Tuesday, fantastic.
Yeah, that was the thing. Over the course of the 2 nights, it was more emphasised wrestling matches compared to the stories. Like SmackDown, you had your AJ one, which they had to clear up. He can't wrestle, but the way they done it was brilliant. The Miz story with Dean, that just blew everything out the water. Compared to Raw, the way it was done and executed, brilliant. I
mean, like, see if there was any other IC champ, like any other bad guy, you'd be saying, like, why the fuck is the guy who's just competing for the world title dropped down to him? Mm-hmm. You know? But because Miz is doing such a great job, it's not a come down in any way, shape, or form. It's not the step down that it used to be.
No.
And personally, I don't think they should have went with that whole thing with him and Ziggler. You know, Ziggler loses, he's out WWE. They should not have done that stipulation, and Miz should have kept his run up.
Yeah.
That C belt instead of it being his so-called reunion tour.
Reunion tour.
Honky Tonk Man's an arsehole and doesn't deserve that record. Miz is phenomenal, and I honestly believe if he held that title for 2 to 3 years, it would never get boring.
No. So Gable won. Solid match. Tidy.
Yes.
Then we had,
as I say, exactly what you expect of this roster.
That's it. It's just tidy matches. Then we had Alexa segment, which I thought was really good. The way Becky.
Oh, this was fantastic.
Becky, I mean, I know she's the face, but some of the things she was coming across was quite heelish. This the way it was coming across. But Alexa, she is the top heel in the women's division. Top heel. She's so much better than Charlotte. As I'm not saying wrestling wise, there's still a lot to learn for Alexa, but the way she handles it, you believe wholeheartedly, you're the heel, I am meant to hate you.
Aye.
Different with us, we love, I'm a heel guy, so I love my heels, but she done it so well, it was just brilliant. But they never had a match. Obviously they two got the night off, and it's just like a tease they're going to have their rematch soon. Mm-hmm. We don't know when.
There's maybe something.
Got to be something.
I think there's got to be more than one rematch somehow.
But it'll be good. It'll be good. I'm really looking forward to this. I know people might be bored of their storyline, and a lot of the other ones are finished. But there's nothing else there regarding the talent. That's the problem again.
I know.
The talent being small.
But that said, this feud has gotten significantly better over time.
Yeah, it has
So I'm
got better.
okay carrying on.
Let's put it this way, people, would you rather watch an Carmella and Nikki Bella?
Exactly.
There you go.
But like Alexa's promo was phenomenal. Saying this little bitch is now running SmackDown and all this. It was great.
She's
and then
brilliant, mate.
Becky actually coming across as properly pissed off, not acting pissed off, but actually believing that there's rage here. And the two of them are giving that legitimate hatred for each other kind of feeling.
I mean, you wonder.
I've no doubt they're best pals.
Oh no, that's the point I was going to get to. When I was listening to the Austin podcast with Becky Lynch,
when there's certain feuds like Rock and Austin, Owens and Sammy,
the Miz and Ziggler.
Yeah, the better that the two people involved know each other, the easier it is to convince everyone that there's genuine animosity.
The way, like you said, it totally calls it. Because when they done the Austin podcast, no a televised one, just the standard podcast.
Oh yeah, the audio one.
With Becky Lynch, that's her ride buddy, and that's her closest pal in WWE. So it makes perfect sense how the two could do a story in the car and then put it on stage for everybody to see and believe, and they do it right. That to me is how a heel works compared to Charlotte. I did not care what anybody says how she's trying to do it. She's a good wrestler. That was
she's a competent wrestler.
That was a boring segment.
There's a difference
until she can
good and competent.
She still needs to learn how to sell. But it was so much better, and we finished the night with a match compared to Raw.
Mm-hmm.
And it was
a damn good match.
A damn good match again. Dean versus the Dean Ambrose versus the Miz for the IC Championship. Tidy again. Miz was great doing trying to get the crowd to hate him even more with the Daniel Bryan stuff.
See, this is the problem that Miz has got now though, because obviously he's a heel, obviously he's great at being a heel, but he's also so good in the ring now.
Oh, I know
he's going to get cheered. That's just what happens. People can't help but cheer for people who put the effort in, and Miz puts the effort in.
Dean was good.
It's a thankless task in an unwinnable situation.
Yep. So guess what happens at the end, everybody, if you never get it? James Ellsworth runs down to the ring to help his pal.
Was he trying to warn Dean about Maurice, or was he trying to distract him?
I don't know, mate. But you can't tell, but it paid off for the Miz.
Do you know the funniest thing? As soon as Miz wins the match, Ellsworth doesn't stick about to see that. This is why I was wondering, was it deliberate or not? Because he just fucking sprints.
It was so good. And that's how SmackDown ends. It was so well done.
Great ending. I like that they keep coming up with twists for Ellsworth.
Yeah, I know a lot of people don't like it. People are getting pissed off with it.
Fuck those people, they're wrong.
I'm enjoying. See, like that last night, that was funny. Yes. I enjoyed that because you don't know what they're doing, and I think that's the difference between the two shows. SmackDown, they're new.
All you can see coming a mile off. SmackDown keeping you questioning constantly.
You're questioning, right? We know Becky and Alexa.
Yes,
that makes sense because of the scenario with the women's division there. The rest of it now is breaking up. Where does everybody go? Because Dean won't go back for that title just now, no for a while. So right, okay.
Yeah, exactly.
It can't be Ziggler because you can't have the guy that lost the IC belt, then lost his rematch, go for the belt.
Head back up.
It doesn't make sense. So
meanwhile, once AJ's better, who does AJ take on? Will it be Taker? Will someone new step up?
That's it. It opens for questions, whereas Raw is so predictable.
Yes.
And it's sad because they've got the talent, but shit booking.
Whereas SmackDown has little talent in terms of numbers,
but
the people in charge are doing something special.
So, but that's...
And also, can I just say, like, having Breeze do that singles match with Gable, there's a lot more attention put on the fashion police.
Yeah.
Which is something that I was really hoping for, as you know.
It's a good gimmick. It's a
great gimmick. It's perfect for them, and it deserves to go places. I'm not saying give them a title run right now, but I'm saying put a focus on them for your programme, because the two of them are funny as fuck.
Yeah. So, as usual, everyone, this is the show come to an end. Go and check us out on Facebook, see anything that me and Martin's put up, have a laugh at it, leave us a like. With the new YouTube standards, like and comment. Like I said the last time, even if you put in, I am shit, I don't care, mate, literally somebody wrote that. And I loved it. I absolutely loved it. I was like,
Okay then.
Okay, you get my joke. So it's the way YouTube works now, people. Just a like and a comment. That's it. Don't worry about a sub. A sub would be nice. A sub would be nice, but
Depends if you really want to put up with us or not, I suppose.
everybody loves us too, mate.
Putting up with us in your inbox.
So that's what to do with the channel just now. It's just the televoting's fixed on YouTube. So this has been Smacked Up Wrestling Podcast. I've been Will.
And I've been wondering what fresh hell awaits us this Monday.
That is a good question, mate. If it's anything like Michael Bay, what he's done to me, be shite.
Sorry, but honestly, you could not have got a more perfect scenario of awfulness. Like, you know how everybody is used to perfection being a good thing? Imagine a perfectly evil, wrong thing. And now it exists. Michael Bay did it.
Michael Bay done it to me. He done it to me.
He did it. It's a masterpiece. It's fucking the best attempt at art through disgust in the history of modern media.
Mate, I tell you, if Hot Rod dies, I don't care now. He's French. That's my problem, people. He's
so
French.
That's the thing. Hot Rod gives Will a hard rod.
Oh, aye.
Right. The whole point of Hot Rod being based on American cars of the same type. Hot Rods. So they've made Hot Rod a Frenchman and a Citroen. But not changed his name.
Until he becomes a Lamborghini. Fuck you, Michael Bay!
Perfectly shit. It's expertly, precisely, absolute, on the button, not so ridiculous that it's too far, and yet not quite, not like it's offensive enough. It is perfect. It is the perfect piece of shit. It is a flawless piece of feces.
And people, that's how we end the show. That's how much anger I've got today.
I'm laughing.
I know you're laughing, you find it brilliant.
It is brilliant in terms of shittiness.
I know. Fuck you, Michael Bay. So
the guy's just a genius.
Oh,
shite.
He's a dick. He should be writing Raw stories. Fuck yeah.
Imagine Michael Bay directing that.
Oh, fuck, explosions were going off everywhere.
And on that note,
people, tune back in for next week. Again, there will be a double shift for the Smacked Up Wrestling podcast.
It's probably on the Thursday where I might still be off my tits.
It will be. This one will be the Thursday. It will be the Thursday, people.
As I say, I'll probably still be off my tits.
So
on.
Don't worry. It'll be
anesthesia.
It'll be fun.
We'll find that out when I listen back to it on Friday.
I'll beat you if it's bad.
Lucky me.
I've got the beat ready.
Aye, welcome to Smacked Up Podcast, where beep for 29 minutes.
So I hope you all enjoy, people. Check us out, like I said, on YouTube and the Facebook as well. Leave us a like and a comment. So, thanks for listening again, and we'll catch you next week.
Cheerio.